Hi and welcome to my channel. I wanted to go over the Harker Outdoors EDC, or the expedition driven camper. This camper is something that you can get obviously for the Jeep Gladiator like I have here. It's available for the Tacoma, I believe some full-size trucks as well. So I wanted to go over first what are basics that are included with the base price of this camper. All right, each of the Harker EDCs are what you would think of as a wedge camper. So what we've got here is a steel frame. This frame is steel. It is skinned along here with an aluminum. That's all aluminum. These things come already equipped with this L-track channel along the side, which is super handy because it's easy to add things to. As you can see back here, you can also get these accessory bars from Harker Outdoors. These bars give you the ability to mount different things on them. This one has the propane tank. They've kind of got a cool design up here across the top. Now, of course, this is like solid material behind this, and there's no chance of leaking happening or anything there. It is sealed up well. This top channel up here, they've got an accessory that is a roof rack that goes on and attaches to that top channel. The Harker EDC does have these rams to lift it on the outside. It's not been a problem at all. Those work well. Up here at the front, at the pivot point, they have got this heavy-duty bearing that actually allows the whole thing to pivot up. And that's what it looks like in its folded up position. A lot of people ask, will that fit in a garage? Well, as you can tell, it's not a whole lot taller, maybe 12 inches taller than the top of the vehicle. And it fits just fine in my 8-foot garage door with probably 4 to 6 inches to spare. And my truck has about 2 inches of lift and 35s on it. This is the other side. You can see again how the L-track allows you to attach accessory bars. It's fire extinguisher mounted. You've got the ability to attach things like the roto packs to the accessory bars. So standard as a solid aluminum side. There's no windows, there's not a hatch in it. It's just a solid side, but it does come with the upper and lower L-track, which is super handy. Now, other additions, obviously, lights, windows, those things can be added to it. Harker Outdoors can do those. Some of them I chose to do myself. So when you get this back hatch here, it comes with these hinges that are special because they allow you to actually open it up, rotate it, and take the back hatch off. We'll get to that in just a minute. I've added a window in my back hatch. They do have these easy to open, and yet they lock well. And look at that, it just lifts right up. You do have this additional support over here on the side. These hydraulic lifts that help hold that hatch up and open. And these hatch lifts have a really cool feature, and that's right here. That's this quick release. So you can push it that direction, pull it off, and that enables you to still remove this whole hatch and put it on the side as an accessory table. So let's get this thing opened up and see how that goes. Okay, you can see I've already released this one. Easily pull that little red piece and the part comes off. And they put a convenient piece here to store these out of the way. Just push them up and hook them on the upper clip right there. You need to do this with both sides so that you're ready to put the hatch on the side. I'm gonna try to do all this recording with one hand while holding this hatch open with my head. There we go. Next step is you take your keys and you unlock these hinges. For me, there's a big key and a small key. I just like to remember the smaller key goes up here at the top and unlocks the hinge. To disengage the hinge, you got to turn it 90 degrees. Pretty simple, but it's also very secure. So with those turned, all you have to do is take this, grab the top center, and lift it off and carry it to the side. Okay, what I have right here are an accessory. They don't come standard, but you purchase this from Harker Outdoors, and it mounts the rear hatch to the side on the L-track. It makes a table out of it. You do have to get the spacing right. What I figured out is I actually put a small piece of clear tape here to help me figure out where to line these up each time and put them in place. And they go in just that easy. There's one. There's other one. I look for my clear tape, push it in place, and there it is. Now we're ready to take the hatch off and hook those hinges right here on these spots and then hang it also. So to hang it, you also need these. These are some carabiners. They have little adjustable ratchets at the top, but it helps support the outer edge of the table. Okay, so when you order that kit that comes with these brackets, it also comes with these upper eyes that hook right into the L-track. Comes with these little pulleys, carabiners on them. You just clip them onto the upper track, put one on each side so you're prepared to hang that rear hatch. Just like that. I like to put the strings on the outside of those hangers so I can easily grab them and pull them right out and hook them. Okay, again, I'm doing this all one-handed, so if I can do it one-handed, hopefully you can do it with two hands. What you want to do is line it up with that bracket, set it down, same thing over here. And if you mark those areas with tape, you know exactly where to place them. It'll line up each time. I like to turn these back in to latch it, but I don't push them all the way down to lock it, so I can easily pick up camp and get out of there. You then hook your hanging strings here. I like to close these locks just to keep them from sticking up. Grab the other side, repeat, and do the same thing. Put your little hook in there. Just like that, you've got a side table now. Table's at a pretty good height. You can see it's just about an inch above the fender flare on the Jeep Gladiator. It works great for me and my wife. We've used it with a camp stove on here. Typically, we'll put down a towel, set our camp stove on here, and cook right there. You could also put a little wash basin or something on here. And here it is with the rear hatch removed, mounted on the side. Now, it's pretty easy to open this thing up. This is what you have to do. Open a latch on each side. Now, I've tucked away this strap right here that you hold on to, but you can easily leave it out hanging if you don't mind it swinging. I've also got a hook that sometimes I put it on over here to the side, but I just tucked it out of the way. Now, one of the things that's handy with these Harkers is you can stand up and walk into them. Of course, you still have to get on your tailgate, so I recommend you get some type of ladder. This one works for me. Does good going up, not so great coming down unless you're willing to back down it, because the steps are overlapping each other. You come up here and lift this while holding onto this strap. And there, the easiest part is done. Look how easy. That is popped up. Now this has what they call the annex. It covers the tailgate. To get that out, it's a bow. This bar right here, you push it to the out position, just like that. Roll it down as far as you can like that. And now you have the two curtains on each side. You can totally leave these curtains, rear annex, attached, or you can take them off and fold them up however you like. I leave mine attached. So now you can see what it looks like opened up. It's just that easy to open. Now to secure your annex, you do have on each side 3 snaps. Now this is the new tent material that they've come out with. It's nice material. They've added an interior flap. So here's the interior flap. That helps keep bugs and everything else out of the tent. Clip that along here. You can see how it also has elastic in the corner now. That's going to go around the tailgate. It also has an attachment point where you can stake it to the ground when it's windy. And it has this piece here. This piece I attach underneath my truck. Now, fortunately, the Gladiator is really easy. I added, again, another little quick clip to mine. And up here, it's a place where I clip it. I usually make sure it's lined up right along the edge of the bumper. Tighten it up. And there, one side is completely attached. Come over to the other side and repeat. There's also some Velcro right here that allows you to adjust this folded corner after you make these snaps. You can adjust the Velcro. Pull that up tight, Velcro it in. Makes a good seal. Again, you got the dual flaps, so you got one that's going towards the inside, one towards the outside. I found this really handy to add these little quick clips. With those, I could just clip it to the frame. All right, so these annexes are really nice. They actually completely separate at the top, or you can zip them together. So let's go up in here and see what that's like. You've got zippers to pull across. Look, I've added little strings to each of mine to get rid of the clanking noise that you hear when it's windy and those zippers are just going clink, 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 the little pulls on them. But you just zip the two sides together and you've got the whole thing installed. So I think airflow is important, especially camping in hot weather. These rear annex doors, they do have windows on them. I love that they zip down like that. You unzip them from the inside, so you don't have to go outside to do that. And here's the main zipper that you can zip up and down for the whole thing. Let's go outside and see what that looks like. So there it is, what it looks like. When you zip this zipper down, all you want to do is make sure you pull these elastic corners around the corner of your tailgate like that. Over here like that. Now when you zip this down, you've got a tight elastic fit around the tailgate, and it seals it up nicely with those interior flaps. Let's go ahead and finish up this side. There's some Velcro here. You just put this Velcro together, and it's that easy. That's the annex on the Harker Outdoors EDC. With the new tent material, it's nice that you have these really large windows that they open and close, but you have a bug screen on there. When it's really windy, they give you additional strap material. It attaches right here. Pull it down, stake it to the ground, and that really reduces the wind flap of the rear annex tent. So what does this look like? Here's what it looks like opened up. Absolutely beautiful piece. Each side also has these really large windows. Again, they unzip from the inside. They have bug screen on them. You don't have to climb outside to unzip anything. You can see these exterior struts that lift and hold the top. Let me tell you, they are heavy duty. They do that so if you want to put something on a roof rack, I believe they say you can carry over 100 pounds up there, and that will still support the weight on the roof. Now you can get a better view of the roof. Here's another accessory that I purchased from them, had it installed at the time that I purchased the base camper, and that's the 2 solar panels. So right here, there's actually 2 of the dirt circuit solar panels. They are a perfect fit from side to side. That's 240 watts each, 480 watts of solar power. Pretty incredible. I'll show you what I have it hooked up to here in a bit, and they do a great job of keeping it charged. They also leave some room at the top. You can see up there. The roof standard comes in like a light gray material for these black ones. And you can see that at the top, there's still, I don't know, 18 inches or 2 foot worth of space. So you can still install one of those roof vent fans if you'd like. They install that there at Harker, or you could purchase one to do it yourself, I imagine. So let's go over the accessories again that I purchased with mine. I got the table, hangers. I consider those essential. Like, you gotta have somewhere to put that rear hatch when you take it off. You could just lean it against the side of the vehicle, but the wind might blow it over. And I got the dirt circuit panels installed. I think they're well worth it. They fit so nicely on the top. And let's take a look inside. And here's the other item that I got, and that is this rear pass-through window. This window I thought was well worth it because I didn't want to take the whole camper off in order to reinstall it or install that window. Having them pre-install it, definitely the way to go. Neat feature, it actually folds down. So you can clean the windows in between the cab of the truck and the EDC. Can't beat that. You also open up both windows, create your pass-through. It's a pretty nice setup. I think that one's well worth getting installed. All right, here's just how roomy it is up in here. I'm standing up on the tailgate. The rear annex gives you plenty of extra space. You can see I've already zipped open these rear side doors, making a wide open rear end on this thing. When you first open it up, there's a bungee cord up here in place. This helps to close the tent material. So as you're closing the top, it kind of pulls it in. Once you've set this up, you can just take that bungee off. So the bed platform up here comes carpeted. It's very nice, matches the interior walls. And with that bungee removed, there's another strap here that you can hold on to, and you can lift the bed platform. It goes all the way to the ceiling. Now I'm 6'3½", and I could walk in here, you know, all the way up just about to the back of the cab of the truck. And there's just tons of room. You've got all kinds of headroom. You can hang out in here during the day. I've built some benches we'll cover, but it's perfect. With that in the up position, you've got some extra working space up here that you can put stuff on. Of course, when you go to the bed position, you're gonna wanna move everything from there. or else it won't close. Very roomy. This is what coming down looks like. Grab the bed platform. If you're shorter, you're gonna have to use that strap. This last few inches, you gotta just about hold on to it or else it'll come crashing down. And those hydraulic ramps pull it back down into place. Now on mine, I put in 2 of these single beds. These are Lost Horizon. I'll put a link down below, but they work out great for me. My wife made some fitted sheets for them. The 2 of them just fit in side by side. Of course, this platform is plenty long, so you can see the extra space down there. If you're wanting to sleep with your head at this end, you might push it further down there so your pillows don't fall off the edge. Or you can sleep with your head at the other end. Debate there as to which way's better. I like it with my head at this end so far. I don't feel as claustrophobic. Here's another accessory I recently got, and it's just Velcroed to the carpet that's up there on the ceiling. So that ceiling is all carpeted solid when you get it. I put on this Velcroed piece here, and I'll put a link to that below. A lot of times it's out of stock. It is currently at the time of making this video, but it's handy little pockets, a clear area you could put your iPad in or a light. I think I'm going to love that. It's a new addition for me. All right, when you get one of these, you're like me, you're probably going to want to go crazy accessorizing it. So let's just take a walk through and look at all the accessories that I've actually added. All right, first off, let's cover the electrical in here. So they offer this electrical switch panel. I opted to purchase a blank panel and do all this myself to it, but theirs can come with fuses and switches. It can come with lights already installed, which they happen to put the same lights that I installed myself, these little lights here. A light on each side. All these lights are controlled at the switches down here. So I added LED lights to mine. Let's turn those on. As you can see, I put my LED lights in an aluminum channel. And actually, it's infrared controlled, but I also have it on a switch. Here's the controller. It gets a little interesting doing the cabling for LED lights up here because this piece goes up and down, of course. So let me show you what I did. So there's the cable for those lights. It runs all the way front to the pivot point, goes on the outside, comes back through underneath. Let me show you where it comes back through underneath. Right here. Comes out through there, over here behind the switch panel, and over here to this switch. So that's how my LED lights are hooked up. Also have the other lights over here that are on a switch. You can turn on and off. Let's see what else we've got. So this switch here is just controlling these ports and the voltage monitor. I believe this one is our outdoor lights. I've added some outdoor lights. Again, it comes out of this switch panel, comes across here, and there you can actually barely see the screws that are holding on those outside lights. Let's go look at the outside lights I added. Now, of course, you can get outside lights from Harker Outdoors. I added my own that I purchased on Amazon. I'll give you a link to that. They have a switch on the outside, as well as the switch inside has to be on in order to use this outside switch. These lights are kind of neat because they also came with an amber shield you can put on. Pretty easy to switch these things out. Just pull down from the top, take off this shield, and you put the amber shield in place. I don't have the amber one with me right now, but there you go. Lights. So I love being a do-it-yourself kind of guy and saving money. That's why I just bought this panel from them, and I ended up installing my own switch block, my own fuse block, and of course lights in here. I did all that myself and the wiring. I'll put links to what I can in the description below. So there again is this switch. This other switch is for the water pump. All right, the water pump is now pressurized. Let's take a look at the water system that I installed here. Here you can see the cabinet that goes on the right side of it. Incorporated a 7-gallon water tank and also the electric pump, so it keeps it pressurized. You can see up here that you can access it from the front side and store extra materials in there. And this is what my shower connection looks like. So just screws on to the propane tank. Have a hose going over here with a quick connect. Also has a turn off right here on the quick connect. That's the gas line. This is the water inlet, hot water outlet. So the Camp Lux has batteries down here, 2 D cells. It has an auto ignition that lights up this fire inside. So when you turn on the water out here, you hear it click, you hear it light up, and the exhaust comes out at the top, which is up here out of the way. It's not going into the camper because that part gets hot. And we have water here squirting out. That's hot water. What a great day for a shower. Each time you shut it off, the gas stops flowing. It relights when you hit the switch on the nozzle. I'll put a link to this Camp Lux hot water heater. Time to wash my hair. All right, to disconnect the hot water heater, again, just reverse those steps. Make sure you turn off your gas over here. Add the tank. Just twist that, turn it off. I usually turn off the valve right underneath, disconnect the quick connect gas line. I'll take that off and roll it up and put it back in my bag. And we'll want to go turn off the water pump so that when you pull those water quick connects, it won't start spraying water everywhere. Turn that off. You want to drain the system. So I recommend putting this thing down low, turning it on, letting it drain out. Pull the quick connect. Same thing over here. See, it's draining water out of the hot water heater. That's something you want to do really well if it's wintertime. In fact, there's a bleed valve screw up in there to drain those coils, because if it freezes them, it will break an instant hot water heater. Something to take in consideration if you're using this in the wintertime. Okay, so naturally, if we're going to talk about this hot water heater mounting here, we're going to have to talk about this hatch door. Now, Harker Outdoors does offer a hatch that's a little nicer than the door I have here. And it might even be a little bit wider, has more squared corners, looks very heavy duty. I bought a hatch that's from a luggage storage area off of an RV, and I actually mounted it, cutting a hole in the side and putting it in place. It has a top twist, and at the bottom it has a key lock. Now I mounted my hot water heater to this door because I figured, hey, I don't want to attach this on the outside all the time and have to put it in a case, but I need it on the outside whenever it's running for the exhaust to escape. And it's perfect. It just swings open. Ended up being the perfect size to mount on there. Now this is a Gladiator Harker EDC, which is a little taller than a Toyota Tacoma one. So if you have a Tacoma, that hatch probably won't fit in your EDC. Another piece that I added to mine is the side windows. Now you can get these windows direct from Harker. I myself purchased them, I believe, from eBay or Amazon. There are some different versions, so you want to look for the one that the flange is reversible to work on a thin side. This is about an 1/8 inch thick aluminum. And I just cut a hole in the side and mounted this thing on the outside. I believe I used some caulking material, on the inside a foam tape. Sandwiched that trim ring on there, screwed it in place, and it's on there nice and tight and sealed up. I did that to both sides of mine. Some people don't like windows because it might allow people to look inside of your camper from the outside. I wanted the light and the capability to have that visibility out of it. Now, what I do at night is I actually have window covers. So this is another addition that I did. I just got some felt that I actually put up at the front over that window, added some small pieces of Velcro at the top, and it sticks right on there. And then I bought these window covers that just happen to be the right size for these windows I purchased. And it just Velcros over the windows like that. Now at night, it's completely closed up in here. I guess if you wanted it like that during the day to keep people from looking in, you could also do that. Just put your window covers in place. These Velcro on. I'll put a link to them. All right, when you get one of these, just remember the sides are carpeted all the way around. You've got a smooth bottom up there on the bed platform, which is like a 1/2 inch maybe thick piece of aluminum composites, kind of honeycomb in the middle. And then the roof is made out of the same material, and there's carpet on the inside of the roof. There is no floor that comes from them. You have to build your own floor, and I think they're coming out with cabinets soon, but these are ones I built myself. So first I put a floor in here. This used to be an old pine dance floor, actually, from a dance studio. I got it for free. So I made it fit the bottom of my bed of the Gladiator. I'll stick some pictures in here for you to see the assembly process of that. Now what that gave me is a secure platform that I could attach the side cabinets to. So I built these side cabinets with keeping in mind that there's 3 of us. I wanted a 28-inch wide alley down the middle where I could put an air mattress to sleep. Here you can see how I built my side cabinet. I just framed it up with like a small lumber and then covered it with plywood. And the plywood actually wrapped in vinyl and carpet on top of the bench with painted edges. I think it came out pretty well. Adding those hinges allows me to lift the top still and use it for storage in my area. All right, so do you think I've covered all the additions? No, not even yet. There's so much that you can do to these things, additions you can add. One thing I found is even with this internal flap in here that helps kind of seal things up, you might want to add magnets. So I just purchased a bunch of magnets, that you can stick on here. The bed of the truck is actually steel. The tailgate is not, but these will help hold this thing back, put the flap into place, put some magnets around it, and you can seal this up pretty tightly that way to keep cold air out or bugs out. So those same Lost Horizon air mattresses I have up top will actually fit down here at the bottom as well. So when I go with the wife and kid, we all three sleep in here. I usually get the bottom, my wife and daughter get the top. Let's look at the cabinet I built over here. So this side stores, for me, the solar generator. I got this Blue Eddy AC200 Max. That seems to work fine for me so well. It's secured down. I actually got some L brackets from Home Depot, attached them to the trail rail system that's at the side, which you need trail rail in order to attach the whole EDC to your Gladiator. And then I secured it to these rails. And I kind of sandwiched it in between there and a foam piece at the bottom to give it a little bit of cushion for the ride. And it's worked out pretty well so far. As you can see, currently it's at 95%, getting 150 watts coming in from the solar. I think it slows down as it gets closer to full. And the DC is turned on. The DC is powering my Bouchard V refrigerator. This is just a one-zone refrigerator. You can make it all freezer or all refrigerator. I've got it set at like 34 degrees right now. But I wanted these things in here pretty narrow on the sides to keep that open alley down the middle to sleep the third person. So I've got extra storage space in here. Here I've got a little red campfire fire pit. I've got my pillow and bedding for up top. Now you can fit up to a 4-inch air mattress up top that doesn't really need to be deflated when you close the top, but I could not fit all that bedding on there as well. That was too much and wouldn't allow me to close the top. I made a cushion for this side. Before the cushion, I had carpeted this to match. And then I made this vinyl covered cushion. Looks like fabric, but it's actually vinyl, so it'd hold up to water and getting messy. And got some foam for that at Joann's and the vinyl material. Now on the other side, I built out this cabinet around the refrigerator. And I also left room in it to put that water tank that's up underneath here to store my water. And there's extra hole in the front, so this one doesn't open from the top, but it has the opening in the front to stick extra items in. I kind of like these side platforms because I use this side and this side to step on to get up onto the bed platform. Because you're going to need something to kind of help you get up to that height. You could have a cooler in the back of your truck, but this works great. If you have a durable fridge that you can stand on, you could use that. I wouldn't suggest it with this one that's plastic. Now, one more feature I added, just to kind of be fun, is this tiny microwave. So this microwave, see, I got the platter wrapped up in there to protect it and added some extra Velcro to the door to help keep it closed. But that's hooked up to the AC output over here on the Blue Eddy. And this whole cabinet will actually detach and I can take it out when I don't want it in the truck. But if I want to leave it in the truck, it's pretty secure there with 4 latches, one at each corner. So I had fun building cabinets for mine. You can build cabinets. A lot of people will use like Milwaukee pack-out boxes. You can do whatever you like in here. Some people will use a bed rug that goes all the way to the front, like the Bed Rug brand. Make a nice soft cushion or carpet in there. Now I did get the bed rug for my tailgate. So this is the tailgate only bed rug. I can get you a link to that and put it in the description. I love it. It makes it so much softer. I had bed liner sprayed on here. If you're attaching these things, make sure you use the adhesive promoter before using the double-sided tape. Another thing I added is this tailgate sealing strip. Perfect. It seals it up so you don't have a gap here with bugs and things coming through it at night or wind. Mine goes all the way up to this outer edge. And then I also added this tailgate sealant tape, and that really secures the tailgate up nice and tight and seals mine up pretty well all the way around. Now my water tank I showed you earlier, this is the fill line for it and also the breather line. So this goes to the outside of the camper. So when I'm ready to fill that 7-gallon tank, I can do it from right here. Just unscrew the cap, fill it up. That was a tight squeeze to get that line to go into there behind the refrigerator and over to the tank. So I did mention earlier that you needed the trail rail system on a Gladiator to attach the Harker EDC. They do make you purchase that separately, or you can purchase it from them. They have this square bracket with bolts at the top, bolts at the bottom, and those nuts are actually in that trail rail holding the camper securely in place. Now the trail rails are pretty expensive. You can buy the Unistrut material, and with the Unistrut, I painted mine, cut them to length, put them in place with bolts, and was much cheaper. So the accessory bars that you can get from Harker Outdoors looks pretty much just like these. They're made of aluminum. They come with the hardware to attach them in place. I wanted mine longer so I could secure this side awning. So I bought aluminum strips, I believe it's off of eBay, and I cut them to length. I made mine longer so they go all the way up and attach up there. Painted them black, and I think they came out great. Now I was able to get with Harker and get a small extra piece of this railing to put at the front, and I threaded that, tapped and threaded it here, and actually attached the front to that. So now I've got the Danshell Outdoor. This is, I believe, a 2 meter by 2 meter or 8.5 feet by 8.5 feet. And that is a side awning. It fits nicely on here. Pretty much the length for the Gladiator all the way to the front. And it sets up quick and easily. Here's what it looks like when you open up the zipper of the nice vinyl cover. I usually tuck my stakes right inside the bag as well. And you can just open that up, and then you've got 3 Velcro straps that you take loose, and you roll that fabric out and stand up the poles and the side supports. Obviously, I won't be able to film this as it's a bit of a chore to do with one person, but this, you can see how it rolls out. These are the side bars are tucked in there. We'll pivot those out to the side, roll it out, drop down the end post, and have it in place. Okay, so I just rolled that out, stretched out the side bars. They just twist to tighten in place. Stick them in right here. The pin on the end goes right into this hole. Let the legs down, which are stored up in this channel, and tighten them into position. And just that simple, it makes a nice awning. Now along the sides, it does have these Velcro straps. So all you have to do is pull them around and attach them like that. For the price, I think it's an okay awning. I do think that the channel that it mounts in, pretty thin aluminum. You can see how easily you can bend that with your fingers. Looks like I have one little bent spot there. I can probably just bend that back with my finger. This awning actually is pretty secure. When you take the corners and you use this string and you anchor them down with some tent stakes, which it comes with, it all becomes very secure even when there's some wind out. I would not want to leave it out long with any wind if you don't anchor it down though. There it is with the awning extended. I would say that awning probably takes longer to set up than it does to pop your top and set up the EDC. But it's a nice little awning, definitely provides you with a good shade at the side to set under. Of course, I haven't anchored mine down. One of the nice features of this awning is that you can get a side room tent that will fit and attach to this perfectly. Has a zipper here to attach that outside edge. Also over here on the channel, that side room tent slides in to this channel. There's a hole in the end of it there. You can slide it right all the way in, and it secures. I'm gonna put some pictures of that room tent. I have it set up in my garage when I first got it. And it looks like a nice addition. If we wanna sleep 2 or 3 more people, they can sleep in the side room tent. Or if the bugs are really bad and we just wanna be in a screened in tent, it opens up the windows and you can have great ventilation and extra coverage. So if this is currently available, you probably can find it on Amazon or eBay. I will put a link where I can for it. I think it's a good overall awning. A little thinner than I wanted for the channel, aluminum thickness, but still a nice little awning for what you get for what you pay. Now, if you want a really cool awning, I think there's a Kamiq awning that is available that's auto retracting. You don't even have to have the poles down unless it's windy. It's a pretty cool awning. I've seen one of those. Harker sells those as well. So check into that. It's quite a bit more pricey, but those look very nice. One of my accessories I like is this Rotopack. So you can mount fuel out here. I've got water now, but if I add a diesel heater later, I'm thinking about putting maybe a diesel tank on the outside. I got the locking one because I didn't want anyone messing with it when I'm parked at a shopping center or something. I'll put a link to that. I added my own aluminum bar and just mounted it to that. Also, I wouldn't want to be camping without a fire extinguisher. I have this quick release bracket and this fire extinguisher that I've mounted on the outside too, so I can get to it easily. I usually cook on this side, so it's right here handy. Okay, it's time to pack it up and close it up. Here's some tips. Make sure you take the included bungee, hook it to each side, and pull those sides of the tent in while closing. You also need to have these side windows partially zipped down. Now you could probably go just a third down and still ventilate enough, but that helps to let the air out while it's all closing up. Turn around behind you, grab the bow, lift it over, make sure you have no more than 4 inches worth of thickness of mattresses or bedding in place. The less the better, but it will hold up to 4 inches. Now you want to put your outside awning or outside annex pieces of tent up here on this bed platform. I like to fold them in a way so the outside is still facing outside kind of and not going to get the bedding dirty. All right, with your annex tent folded inward and with the bow pulled forward, you're ready to grab the strap, pull down the top, and close this up. So I usually get my hand through the loop here, start pulling down, get a hand on top, and then close this up. Okay, the first push down is just to kind of get all the air out of it. You'll have tent hanging out each side. Then you let it up just a little bit, grab up in here, and pull all that excess tent inside. Do that on both sides. Then I just kind of hook one of these outer hooks. I did that on the other side. I'll double check this side, pulling in the tent material, push it down, get the hook on there, and then just clamp it into place. So once you've pulled it down, I leave the clamp open, but hook it, double check the sides, make sure the tent material is all pulled in, and you're ready just to clamp it down. So it doesn't take long to close that up. Here it is closed up at the top. Now I'm gonna throw my ladder inside, take the side hatch off, put it back in place and reattach the little ram supports on the sides that help hold it up, and close up the tailgate and the rear hatch, and we're done. All right, I've got the rear hatch off the side, and now it's time to reattach it. You can see where it just hooks on quite easily up at the top to these hinges. Line it up, twist the outside, latch it, latch it. It's that easy. Then I pull down the side ram supports again, just pop them onto the supports, and you have your rear hatch reattached just that easily. Right here's one more thing I added to mine. This rear hatch comes solid. I added the rear window into this. Now this window doesn't open, it's just a solid window. Doesn't seem to interfere with it becoming a table, still works great. That you can have them add this at Harker. I purchased one myself and cut the hole and put it in place. If you're doing that, this window does come with a vertical drain hole. It's designed to be mounted vertically. Harker recommended these drain holes, drill a few small holes at the bottom to allow that channel to drain. All right, welcome to my garage. We're in my garage so that we can take a look at what items I usually pack in my Harker EDC when I'm ready to go camping. Fortunately, I've got some great storage in here. These are new age bold cabinets that I installed in my garage. One day I'll do a video about them. As you can see, I wall mounted them all so they're up off the floor, makes it easy to wash out the garage and clean everything up. But all my stuff for camping is in one of these 3 tall cabinets over here. So let's take a look at that. Is it cabinet 1, 2, or 3? Well, cabinet number 2 is not it. Cabinet number 2 is all of my motorcycle gear. So let's go to cabinet number 1. And here's everything for camping. So typically when I load up, I'm gonna load up the porta potty. Let's just show you. This is the porta potty tent, shower tent. So I set this on the side where the hot water shower is. So you can shower in there, and we can also stick the porta potty in there for some privacy. This is my 3rd air mattress. So when all 3 of us go, we've got 3 air mattresses, and this one can sit right along in the bottom center. This is our supply tub. The supply tub has a stove in there, plasticware, all the cooking utensils, pans, things like that. That just slides right up the middle of the Jeep. Sits in the back there. Of course, the porta potty makes the kid and the wife happy. Also got an extra hammock that I bring with us. So far for heat, I've been using this Mr. Heater Buddy Heater. Seems to work pretty well. My wife doesn't like the smell of it though in the camper, so I'm hoping to switch to a propane heater in there. That's that Propex one, I believe. Kind of like the diesel heater, so it's a little more efficient and has a thermostat. These are nice though, it'll heat it up quick. So what else have we got? Collapsible bowl. This needs to go back in my gray box. Just some hot chocolate and cups. Now this piece I don't always bring, but sometimes I do. That's that Vivor tent that goes underneath the side awning. It all packs up into this one bag, but it's a pretty heavy piece. So don't carry it with us unless we plan to use that side room. Camping chair and another sleeping bag. So I just keep everything nice and neatly organized in that end cabinet. So all I have to do is just load it right into the back of my EDC and we're ready to go. It's not hard to do with the center aisle. Just slide things down the middle. Again, this is a piece I wouldn't normally take with me, but sometimes, hopefully, we will use it. So I'm just going to put it back up there. But you can see everything fits in here pretty easily. And you're ready to go camping. We fill our refrigerator up with the foods that we want. We grab our clothes and we take off. Makes it really easy. Here's some of the content of my gray box. So we usually bring extra plasticware, things like that with us. This is my little camp stove. One side's a griddle, one side's just a burner. I've got my pots and pans in here, lighters, knives, utensils and plates, bowls, cups, hot chocolate, wipes. Wipes come real handy. Also have a small propane bottle for the little grill. Just easier to run that one off with the small bottle, I think. That's pretty much what I've done here. Paper towels. You put in your necessities that you need just in a case like this. So there's plenty of room in there. Put all the stuff you want in there. Take it out when you're not using it. When I'm not using it for camping, I'm using it. It's my work truck. So I have these tool boxes here that I just take, slide up the center, and I've got my tools with me. Meanwhile, all the camping gear ends up right here back in this cabinet, ready to go. So one thing I love about the EDC is that I have an 8-foot garage door here. I'm able to park our two vehicles, the van and also our Jeep Gladiator with the EDC on it, right inside the garage. As long as you have an 8-foot door, you'll be set up there. This other side, I didn't put the extension on the garage door opener, so it only opens it like a 7-foot door. And as you could tell, you would have problems getting it in through a 7-foot door. It just wouldn't fit. So let's take a look at the clearance with the 8-foot garage door. Here you can see it's on my Jeep. That's 315/70/17s with about 2-inch lift. So those are like 35s. And between my garage door, bottom edge of that rubber flange, yep, you can see we've got just about 7 inches to clear. So pretty good space. I think I could still put the roof rack bars on there if I wanted to and still clear this. So just to reference how high that is. So this piece extends above the bed of the truck. Looks like 35 inches. So you need to allow 35 inches above the bed of your truck if it's a Gladiator for this without the roof bars. Okay, so I've talked about quite a few different items on my Jeep Gladiator and the EDC by Harker Outdoors. Specifically, I covered items I've added to it. Kind of done a full walkthrough here today. Also put in the description on this video links to many of the items that I added to mine. Those are Amazon Associate affiliate links, wherever they can be. They might not be if it's to eBay or something like that. Please use those. It supports me and my channel. Also, if you take time to give it a thumbs up and even subscribe, I'd appreciate it. I hope to share more of my garage, my adventures here in Utah, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks a lot.